It's starting to come down now. I mean, we have, up at my house, we probably have like, I mean, it's a dusting, so it's like an inch and a half. Down here, you get about a half inch, maybe a little more on the ice here in the big open spaces. Under the tree canopy, it's a lot less, but as you can see here, yeah, I mean, it's probably like an inch and a half total. I don't know if you can see it's coming down sideways. Just another day out here, you know, claiming my spot on this earth. You know, trying to convene with God Almighty. Some of y'all might call it nature or spirituality. Other than that airplane, it's pretty quiet. It's beautiful out. All iced over. I saw someone out here, as you can see, down here. I think right there. They were out here ice skating. They might still be out here. I don't see them right now. Looks like they came off over here. Anyway, you know, I know there's people in my orbit, you know, in my girlfriend's life, my life, they're struggling in different ways. You know, it's hard when the struggle is, you know, because I knew what I had to change early on. You know, I got locked up, sent to juvie back when I was 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? And even in my 20s, you know, I was partying a lot and it was all right. So I didn't mind, you know, the arrests for the nonsense and fights and, you know, destruction of property stuff. And, you know, it was mostly nuisance until I got into my 20s. And even then, but it was more like violence and fights and shit. And then later on drugs, you know. But I knew, like, in my mid-20s, when the hard drugs started slipping in, I should say, right? When we started doing hard drugs, like, every other weekend or whatever it was, you know, every now and then. Dope, crack, you know, whatever else. Dust, it didn't matter, you know. Whatever. My drug of choice was whatever you had, you know. And anyway, you know, I knew that I had to get out of it, but I couldn't do it, you know. It was just my lifestyle, you know. I felt like I was too young to, you know, worry about it. Even when I went to like NA or AA meetings, you know, court ordered, of course. You know, there was a lot of old people and beat up people, and I didn't feel part of, even though I was, you know, I had this ego where I was like, nah, that's good for them, but not me. I can stop when I need to stop, I'll stop, you know. And I had various lengths of time, you know. But sometimes when you're young, you're in your early to mid 20s, even, you know, up into your 30s, like, you might need more suffering, more pain to let you know that, hey, this isn't working. You know, I tried it every way, you know. I wouldn't smoke crack, but I'd drink. Or I wouldn't drink, I'd smoke crack. Or I'd only do dope on the weekends, you know. Or I'm just gonna, you know, I only get that messed up at a party, you know, and a planned event. And it was everything. I'll cut down on the drinking. None of it was working, you know. And even now, you know, I rely on cannabis, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I don't do any of the other stuff. I don't do crack, coke, pills, dope, meth, whatever you want, you know, PCP, none of it. I smoke weed, sometimes to excess. And, you know, I have to look at that shit too, right? You know, and I keep contemplating, like, maybe I gotta cut back or stop, or, you know what I mean? It's like the same cycle again. But you know, it's not as detrimental to my life. Yeah, sure, does it kill my motivation sometimes? Sure. Does it make me procrastinate sometimes? Sure. But I'm not robbing anybody. You know, I'm not lying to my girl, my kids, like, oh, I don't have any money because, you know, I fixed the car, whatever it is, you know. I don't have to remember the lies. I don't have to remember who I fucked over. You know, what I told them, you know, again, lies, right? I don't have to play the confidence game with people anymore. You know, usually if I say something, like 99.99% of the time, I follow through. You know, you don't have to remind me every 6 months to do it, though. But no, you know, I do. I push myself. I mean, you know, I lived my life a certain way. You know, by the seat of my pants, I would just rip and run all the time. It didn't matter, you know. And then sometimes, like, I'd get hurt enough and slapped down enough, usually by law enforcement, that I'd be like, okay, I gotta chill out. Or like a long-term girlfriend, like, oh, you gotta, you know. And I'll be like, okay, once I get the job and I take care of this and I pay off the debts and, you know, things are going good, I can get high again, you know. So you gotta watch out for that shit too, you know. And I don't recommend young people who are just, you know, possibly problem drinkers, or, you know, drinking to excess and smoking to excess and, you know, having health issues, because I don't recommend that they go to NA. You know, even though, like, when I was younger, I didn't want to go to the old timer meetings. Those are the people, though, that more than likely aren't gonna get you high, you know, and will help you out. But anyway, folks, you know, that's what was on my mind this morning on my first round out here. And, you know, it's beautiful out. This is the day we get. It's actually warm today, you know, compared to last few days. It's actually pretty decent. But I hope everybody's doing well, man, and I hope you're getting at it, whatever getting at it is for you. I'll talk to you later. Peace.